Aloha YouTube family, welcome back to another video about copywriting, of course. So in today's video, I am going to basically tell you how you can learn copywriting fast. The biggest misconception I hear about copywriting when people talk to me, they think that I'm really freaking intelligent to be doing this job, because they assume that copywriting is a hard job to do and you have to learn specific techniques, and that there is really a lot to learn before you can get started, and also that you need to be very good at obviously writing and English in general, or whatever language you're going to be copywriting in. Now, the reason I say this is the biggest misconception is because none of that is true. Copywriting is probably one of the easiest jobs to learn to do. And this is because copywriting is all about writing how you would speak. And most of us speak at very basic level. In fact, the reason copywriting is all about writing how you speak is because people prefer when they are being communicated with in a very simple way. Like, we literally prefer to be speaking like fourth graders as opposed to, educated, sophisticated, intelligent people, because it's easier, it's more friendly, it's just more relatable, and it's easier to understand people. We just like simple language because it's a shortcut to understanding each other. So this is really important in copywriting, because you are writing to basically introduce people to products or convince people to buy products, or explain to them why a certain product or a service would be good for them. So if you can write it in a very simple way, even if it's a complex product or a complex service, then you are basically winning, because the people will feel like they understand what you're talking about, and they will find the brand more relatable, more friendly, and they will be more likely to buy. Whereas if you write a website or an email or a product page that's full of complicated jargon that people just don't understand and they don't really want to process, because when we're online, we're not really we want to kind of move fast and not pay too much attention and too much time to anything really. Everything is happening so fast online that people really need the information laid out in front of them super easily. So basically, if you've been thinking that you need to be an amazing English speaker, an amazing writer, and a super sophisticated and intelligent person to start copywriting, wrong. You can basically do it as long as your English is at a conversational level, which I assume it is since you're watching this video. If you can understand what I'm saying, if you can watch an episode of Friends and you can understand it, then you can be a copywriter. Now, when it comes to grammar and stuff like that, there are tools online like Grammarly, for example, that will basically help you with that part. So even if you're not great at grammar, and I'm not, I make mistakes all the time, you can always run it through software like Grammarly, and that will basically pick up any mistakes for you. So another thing you have to understand is that copywriting is not just about writing. The biggest skill, the most valuable skill in copywriting is actually being able to connect with the audience. So it doesn't matter if you're an amazing writer if you cannot put yourself in somebody else's shoes, basically. And the good thing is that we all have this ability. We're all naturally able to empathize with another person. When you see, for instance, a kid that dropped their ice cream, you can imagine how they feel. If you speak to a friend that had just broken up with their partner, you can understand how they feel. So you basically already have that skill kind of honed down. So the only thing is that when you're writing copy, you basically have to use that skill more deliberately to put yourself in the shoes of the prospective client and understand how to talk to them and what would you say to them to get them to, buy the product or take the service or whatever. Okay, so another super valuable skill that every copywriter should have and should develop is creativity. Now, a lot of people get scared when I say creativity, because they assume that you either have to be born a creative person or you're just not able to do it. And there's this whole debate about being dominant on your left brain and your right brain and all this stuff. But actually, it's not true. as a human being, you are creative, because this is something that is in our blood, and this is why we have gotten to where we are as a society, as a race, as a species, because we are natural creators. Like the human being, the human mind, the human body just wants to create. So we invent all kinds of different things and we explore all our ideas until there's nothing left, because we are natural creators, you as well and me as well, and literally everybody you know in your life. So this is the good news, because that should basically stop you from thinking that, oh, I can't do this job because I'm not creative, or I'll never be as creative as this person, that person, because you will and you can. And creativity is a skill, just like any other skill. If you give yourself the time to sit down and practice your creativity in whatever way you feel called to do it, you will get better at it. So to specifically relate creativity to copywriting, in my opinion, the way we use creativity in copywriting is not that we invent something new. You don't have to be an inventor, but what you have to do, you don't have to be an innovator, but what you have to do is you have to give yourself the space to explore different ideas and to get as many ideas out of your brain onto a piece of paper, onto your laptop, whatever you write, get as many out as possible. And then because you're generating so many of them, there's bound to be one or two at least that are going to be amazing. So this is a numbers game. You basically have to get a lot of ideas out of you, and then you just pick the best ones. So in other words, as long as you speak conversational English, are committed to exploring different ideas, and wait a minute. And give yourself the space to practice or use your skills of empathy in connecting with other people. I mean, anybody can learn English to a conversational level. Everybody has some empathy in them, and everyone is creative. So as long as you've got these three things, you are literally good to go. Now, okay, so here is the funny thing. A lot of people will pick up a book about copywriting, and I am guessing that by this point you've already picked up some kind of a book or a course or something. So you pick up this book or a course that says, copywriting for beginners, or the handbook of copywriting or whatever. You read this book. In there they explain the basics to you, so they tell you what copywriting is and what kind of copy you might be doing, and how they give you some formulas and stuff like that. And then what 99% of the people do is they close the book and they go, that can't be it, like there has to be more. So they will go and get another book, and then they'll read that book, and then they'll say, well, there must be more, and then go for another book and another course and another book and another course, and they never actually start working as a copywriter, because they just don't feel that they're good enough to start, because they believe that they must study, for years, right? Or whatever. The truth is that no, like my recommendation to you is, yes, pick up like 2 books. Let's say you pick up the Copywriter's Handbook and Breakthrough Advertising. Take those 2 books, read them front to back, that literally dissect them. So do it, like really pay attention to what you're reading and say to yourself, okay, I understand what copywriting is. I understand what kind of copy I might be writing, and I understand what is the purpose of my work, and then just start. Don't get into the loop of not feeling good enough, feeling like you have to learn more and more. Yes, you will always be learning through practice, also through books and courses. There's nothing wrong with reading more books and discovering the topic more, and watching more courses and learning and attending conferences and networking and all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't fall into the loop of reading and learning and never actually doing anything. Because let me tell you one thing, copywriting in itself is easy. Like once you know what it is, the basics of like persuasion and stuff, what calls to action are, and all this stuff, and like good headlines, benefits, features, like all this basic stuff. Once you know this, that's it. There is no secret. Now you just have to get started. So in literally 2 minutes, I'm going to give you the best solution for getting started right away, like in days. But before I do that, let me just give you some tips on how to basically keep engaging in copywriting and gaining more skills and getting better, so you feel more confident, and of course you will get better with time. So the first thing I would do is just focus on like 2 books at first and just dissect them and go through them many times and annotate them, and you'll always find something new. I mean, sometimes you have to read a book like 4 times to actually feel like, okay, I don't think there's anything in this book left for me. And then if you go back after 3 or 4 months, you will find that there was a lot left in it for you. Then the second thing is just take in copywriting. Like, copywriting is literally everywhere. Like, if you go outside and you, for instance, take the bus or take the metro, there will be banners and advertisements all over the thing. So you can literally sit there when you're on your way to the office, for example, and just read the advertisements everywhere, and maybe think in your head like how you would do it better. What do you like about them? What do you not like about them? Take pictures of the really good ones and like keep them on your phone. Another thing is when you go on social media, like if you scroll on Facebook, every third post on your Facebook page, on the home screen, on the feed, is an advertisement, right? So you're going to have the copy for the Facebook ad, then you're going to have the ad itself, maybe it'll be a video or whatever. Look at it, dissect it, think about what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Take a screenshot if you really love it. So basically, because copywriting is literally everywhere, you would have to live under a rock to not be exposed to it. And if you just pay attention, that is really enough to take you above like 90% of copywriters. But then, like I said, the king of learning is experience. Nothing beats experience. Nothing teaches like experience. So the main thing you need to do is you need to go and get started. Okay, so because I've been running this channel for like over a year now, I think, the number one thing that people come to me with is, or the number one anxiety or stress or worry, is that they don't know how to start. You're probably in the same situation, like, okay, Adriana, you are telling me that I already know how to do this, and maybe I do, maybe it's true, but I just don't know how to actually start. How do you start freelancing? Where do you get your clients from? How do you make a portfolio? How much do I charge? I mean, so many questions. Nobody's really like giving me the guidance that I need. So because I know that this is the biggest problems freelancers have, and I really care about you guys and I want to give you as much value as possible, I created a 5-day copywriting challenge where basically in those 5 days, I am going to show you all of these things. I'm going to guide you through these steps. So by the end of day 5, you will literally be ready to go and get your first paying clients. It's not only that you will be ready, you will know exactly how to do it because I'm going to show you how. So basically, wait a minute. So the challenge is free. It's a group challenge, so you're gonna meet other people just like you who are on the same journey. You'll also meet people that maybe have taken the challenge previously, depends on when you're watching this video. Also, you get to hang out with me and ask me questions because I'll be doing like live Q&As. And in the challenge, basically, I take you through first of all, like how to position yourself in a copywriting market. So how to make yourself stand out, because we all know there are a lot of freelancers out there and there's a lot of competition. So I show you how to stand out, and I promise you that you can really stand out. Just come to the challenge, trust me. And then the second thing is I show you exactly how to work out how much you should be charging and how to increase your rates over time. Then I also do a super cool workshop on portfolio creation. So you basically get to create your portfolio, and then I will show you something really cool. Yeah, but you have to come to see it. And then also the last thing will be I will show you literally where to go looking for your clients and different ways of marketing yourself as a copywriter. So basically, if you want to join the challenge, and I hope you do because like I said, you're not really risking anything because it's free, then there is a link in the description of this video, And there's also a video that kind of explains it in more detail, but just make sure you sign up in the link below. You'll see the dates of the next challenge, and yeah, I will see you there. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to be joining the challenge, and I'll be so excited to see you there.